These two cards look almost the same, but they're very different mechanically. The effect feels the same when you are on the receiving end, and your life total dwindles as the triggers resolve. But knowing the difference between these two can help you make better plays and understand what will and won't save you from losing the game. Let's start with the core technical definitions of damage and life loss. Damage comes from a variety of sources like creatures and spells, and is what interacts with lifelink, death touch, and protection, which we'll talk about in a bit. Life loss is just simpler. Your life total simply reduces by whatever amount the effect says. The easy way to think about this is that all damage causes loss of life, but not every instance of losing life in a game of Magic is caused by damage. Let's look at Zulaport again. When one of your creatures dies, Zulaport Cutthroat makes each opponent lose 1 life, and you gain 1 life. When the trigger resolves, life totals are just reduced by 1. End of story. There's no damaging or targeting involved. Vindictive Vampire deals damage when its triggers resolve. That means it can be stopped by protection, prevention, or redirection effects, and it can also interact with lifelink, death touch, or infect if it had them. So while these effects look similar, Zulaport guarantees unavoidable life loss, while Vindictive Vampire deals damage that opens up additional synergies. One way you can see why this is relevant is that if you had a Basilisk collar, you'd be losing out on value by equipping it to your Cutthroat, who only causes your opponents to lose life. Equipping it to your Vindictive Vampire is the much better play, because the creature itself is dealing the damage to your opponents, and you'll gain additional life from the lifelink. The same goes for Infect. There's no benefit to equipping your grafted exoskeleton to your Cutthroat, aside from it becoming a 3/3 with Infect. But equipping it to your Vindictive Vampire allows you to deal Infect damage to your opponents off of its triggers, and this can end a game very quickly. Let's look at another instance where knowing the difference between life loss and damage can really matter. Suppose you have the One Ring in hand, and an opponent has these 2 creatures on the field along with a bunch of sacrifice fodder. You need to make a decision between playing this and gaining protection from everything until your next turn, or playing something else that could help you win the game. The question is, are you safe from losing the game with protection from everything while these 2 creatures are in play? The reason the answer is no is because of what protection entails. Protection is an old mechanic that has a lot packed into it, but a shorthand way you can remember what it does is to think about debt. Whatever has protection can't be damaged, enchanted, equipped, blocked, or targeted by whatever it has protection from. So with that in mind, let's look at Vindictive Vampire and see if it's covered under protection. It is, because Vindictive Vampire deals damage, and we have protection from damage for a turn after playing the One Ring. So we're safe against this one while we have the protection effect. When we look at Zulaport, we see our protection doesn't stop what it's doing. Yes, we have protection from creatures, but Zulaport is not damaging us, it's not targeting, and enchanting and blocking aren't relevant here. The trigger's only affecting our life total, and there's nothing in protection that says our life total can't change. This means we are still at risk of losing the game if we have protection from everything, while a Zulaport Cutthroat is in play. This is why Teferi's protection-style effects are considered the gold standard in gotcha spells that can protect against both damage and life loss effects. So the next time you're in a game and an effect is chipping away at your life total, it's worth understanding whether it's being caused by damage or life loss. Understanding the difference between the two will help you make better decisions and become a more strategic player, and you might even win more games.